Research Associate ISJS with us. I would like to invite her for Mangla Charan. Pragya ji, over to you.
Thank you, Mukesh ji. Kindly join your hands. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vajjayanam. Namo Loe Savasahunam. Namo Bambhiye Liviye. Eso Panchinamo Yaro Savapavappanasano Mangalanam cha Savvesim Padmam Havai Mangalam Padmam Havai Mangalam. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragya ji, for beautifully reciting Namokar Mantra and Mangla Charan. In next section, I would like to invite Dr. Srinetha Pandey, Director Acting ISJS, to welcome note and introductory speech. Dr. Pandey, over to you, sir.
Namaskar, Jai Jinendra. I welcome you all to this 15-day online workshop on Brahmi script. First of all, I would like to welcome our President and founder of International School for Jain Studies, Dr. Suganchan Jain. Dr. Jain is our, you can say, inspiration, guide, and mentor behind our all academic activities. Sir, behalf of myself, behalf of organizing committee of the workshop, I welcome you to this inaugural session of 15-day workshop on Brahmi script. We have our co-founder and advisor, Dr. Sulekhan Jain ji from USA. We have Dr. Nitin Shah, our advisor. So I welcome you both to the inaugural session of this 15-day online workshop. We have our alumni of our 9-month Prakrit program from USA, Dr. Anahita Hose. Dr. Anahita, I welcome you to this inaugural session of this 15-day online program. I welcome my colleagues here at ISJS, Pragya Jain, Dr. Mukesh Mehta, Megha Kade, Gopal Kudle, and yes, of course, I welcome our participants who are joining us from the different part of the globe. I welcome you all to this 15-day online workshop by International School for Jain Studies. As you know, this is the first time we are offering a systematic program, a systematic event on Brahmi script. And we have 62 participants registered for this program, though I have received more than 300 applications and intent from the different part of the globe, but 62 participants are registered for this program. So most of the participants are very new to us, and yes, our institution is also new for them. That's why I would like to present a brief introduction of ISGS for our new participants who are joining the first time. So I share my screen. Is it visible, Mukesh ji?
Yes, sir, visible. Yes, sir, clearly visible.
Okay. So what is ISJS? So ISJS was founded in 2005 in Delhi by Dr. Suganchan Jain from India and Dr. Sulekh Chand Jain from USA as a voluntary, non-government, non-profitable academic institutions with an objective to introduce academic studies of Jainism in the universities globally. So what we do to achieve our objective, we organize residential programs during summer, and yes, of course, we also organized a 10-day program in winter. And beside lectures, we arrange some interactive session with Jain householders family, interaction with the Jain ascetics, Jain monks and nuns, and we arrange some visits to pilgrim places and places related to Jain culture, Jain tradition. Yes, in 2020, to enhance our facilities, to provide better infrastructure, to provide for better academic environment, we merged our all operations to Amar Prera Trust of Dr. Firodia family. Actually, Amar Prera Trust is a unique charitable organization founded in 1991 by late Navalmal Kundanmal Firodia ji with the noble purpose of promoting the ideals of moral and ethical living, studies in Indian culture, history, philosophy, ancient languages, particularly Jain culture, Jain philosophy, Jain history, and the Prakrit language. Yes, as well as training in meditation and yogic practices. Yes, Amar Prera Trust has three divisions. First is Naval Virayatan. Naval Virayatan is a unique retreat and training center on a hilltop near Pune. The second is International School for Jain Studies. And third is Firodia Institute of Philosophy, Culture and History. And this institute has built the largest museum dedicated to Jain philosophy, culture and history. And this museum is yet to be inaugurated. Currently, it's in trial phase and we call it Abhay Prabhavana. As I mentioned earlier that ISGS offers various programs in summer. So we offer a 3-week Jain Studies program for senior undergraduates and graduates. We offer a 5-week program on Jain Studies for senior graduates, PhD, postdoctoral fellows, and faculty members. We offer a Teaching for Peace program, a 3-week Teaching for Peace program, particularly for school teachers. We host a yoga program offered by Loyola Marymount University, California, and we host Oberoi Teachers Training Institute program. This program is offered by Oberoi Foundation USA, and we host the portion for particularly for Jain studies for 5 to 7 days in India. Yes, in winter, we offer a 10-day program for fundamentals of Jainism. We introduced this program in 2018, and for 2 years, we organized this at Ahmedabad in Gujarat physically. And since 2020, this program is being conducted virtually every year from December 28 to January 6. And any inquisitive who has no background in Jainism can join this program for basic and authentic knowledge of Jainism. Yes, beside this, we offer many other programs like we offer a 9-month Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship program. And till date, we have conducted 4 programs. And we are in the process of selection for the 5th Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship program. And for this program, uh, Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, Pune, provides PG diploma certificate. Besides this, we offer short-term online courses on Prakrit. Until date, we have conducted 2 courses, one for 1 month and another one for 3 months. Yes, last year, first time we offered a 10-day online program on fundamentals of Jainism for our Hindi audience. And the first time last year, we conducted a 8-week program, Bhagwan Naminath Fellowship for Research and Writing Skills. And we conducted this program in association with Loyola Marymount University, California. So till date, more than 1,100 participants from the USA, UK, Canada, Europe, Russia, Singapore, Zimbabwe, Japan, Ethiopia, China, Sri Lanka, Italy, Thailand, Iraq, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Tashkent, Brazil, Philippines. And this year, we have 3 participants from University of Nairobi, Kenya, 2 participants from University of KwaZulu-Natal, Durban, and 4 participants from Lumbini Buddhist University, Nepal. So till date, more than 1,100 participants from the different part of the globe have benefited by our different programs. Besides these programs, we conduct some academic projects. So we conducted a project, a history of Jains during the 1947 participations of India with Claremont Lincoln University, California. And from ISGS, this project was led by Dr. Navin Srivastav. And under the able guidance of our founder, Dr. Suganchan Jain, we conducted a research on Gandhi and Jainism and impact analysis, and this research is available in book form now. Again, we conducted a program with the support of Indian Council of Philosophical Research, Ministry of Education, Government of India, a comparative study of Jain Yoga as depicted in Yog Drishti Samuchay and Jnanardam. Under the headship of Professor Prakash Chand Jain, we conducted a sociological study of Jain community in India, and the report is available to our website. We conducted a research on Jain business engagement and ethics and overview under the leadership of our founder, our president, Dr. Suganchan Jain, and this research is now published. Currently, under the able guidance of Dr. Suganchan Jain, a research project on Anekantwad and its applications is in the final stage. It is going through the process of editing, and very soon this research will be published. We are conducting some translation project. So English translation of Siddhahem Sabdanusasan translation is now complete, and it is going through the editing process. Very soon, this book will be available for our readers. And then the next is English translation of Pai Sabda Mahado, a dictionary on Prakrit. So translation is complete, editing is in process, and we are in the process to make it available online and free accessible for anybody. And also in offline format also. Beside this, we conduct a monthly lecture series. We started this series in 2000 in the month of February 2023. We conduct seminars and workshops on Indian philosophy and culture, particularly on Jain philosophy, culture, and history. ISGS is also actively involved in publication activity. We publish an online quarterly research journal, ISGS Transaction. We publish a fortnightly e-newsletter. And yes, of course, we publish books based on research, and also our seminars proceedings we publish in book form. Last year, we announced Bhagwan Kunthunath ISJS Annual Award. And for 2022, so for the best book, this award went to Professor Tine Wekmenas of Ghent University, Belgium. And for the best research papers, this award went to jointly Dr. Anil Mundra and Miss Natalia Pevlik. For academic activities and to achieve our mission, we have signed agreements and MOUs with various institutions in India and abroad. In India, we have an MOU with Mangalayatan University, Aligarh, Jain Shiksha Prasarak Society, Delhi, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad, and Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, Pune. Yes, we have an agreement with the Federation of Jain Association in North America, Loyola Marymount University, California, Ghent University, Belgium, and last year we signed two, not last year, this year, we signed two MOUs, the first with Lumbini Buddhist University, Nepal, and University of Nairobi. So this is about ISJS. So before I hand over the proceeding to Dr. Mukesh Mehta, yes, our chairman and the inaugural speaker of this workshop is here with us. Sir, on behalf of myself and behalf of organizing committee, I welcome you to this inaugural session of workshop. So I would like to give a brief about the workshop. This workshop intends to provide a comprehensive knowledge of Brahmi, such as origin and development of Brahmi, Sanskrit, Prakrit, and Pali alphabets, word formation means adding vowel signs to consonant, conjuncts, and numerals, deciphering the Girnar inscription of Ashok and Hathi Gumpha inscription of Kharwel, and last but not least, transliteration of Prakrit passages from Brahmi to Roman and from Roman to Brahmi. So to make the learning of our participants easy, we are preparing some study materials for you, and we will share them with you time to time. Friends, we have shared a detailed help book with you. So I request you all, please go through the instructions and guidelines given in the help book. And a few of them I would like to mention here. The first is that the Sundays falling on August 4 and August 11 will remain weekly off. The link which we have shared with you will remain the same for the entire program. One more thing, I request you all, please don't share this link with anyone. It is strictly for the registered participants only. Each session will be for 75 minutes, including discussion. So if you have any doubts, questions regarding the lectures, please write them in chat box, and our faculty, Dr. Mukesh Mehta, will try to answer your questions. And if it remains unanswered, we have more than 60 participants. So it is possible that he may not answer your questions during the session. So you all are requested to send your questions through email. We have shared our emails in help book. So you can send your questions through email, and for sure you will get answers to your questions. There will be daily assignments that will be given during the class. You need to solve them before the next day's class. And at the end of the workshop, a test will be conducted for the assessment of the understanding of the subjects. I know many of you are a renowned teacher of Brahmi script. I have gone through your brief bio, and I came to know that many of you are well versed in Brahmi script. So we feel fortunate that many scholars of Brahmi are joining this program as a participants. One important thing, for certification, 80% of attendance is the minimum eligibility. So please uh, attend our classes. Our faculty, we put a lot of effort to prepare course material and lectures. So I request you all to attend all the classes. Just a brief about our faculty, key faculty of this program. He is comparing this session, Dr. Mukesh Mehta, who is a research associate with us at ISGS and working on our Prakrit dictionary by Sabda Mahado. Dr. Mehta is PhD in Pali and Buddhist studies. He is trained in Prakrit language also, and for Brahmi, he is trained from National Manuscript Mission. National Manuscript Mission is an you can say autonomous institution under the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. As I mentioned that we are offering first time this program, and as I told that we offer a 9-month long Prakrit study program, and in that program we introduce the inscriptions by Kharwell and Ashok. Last year, what happened when our faculty Megha Kade was teaching those inscriptions, I received an email from one of our participants. I mentioned her name in my welcome speech, Dr. Anahita Bhus. He sent an email to me. He said, if you are introducing these scripts, Brahmi scripts, so why we are studying it through translated versions? It should be introduced originally. So same day I discussed with my colleagues at ISJS, what should we do? Then first time I came to know that Dr. Mukesh Mehta is well versed in Prakrit, and I requested him to teach for 10 days to our Prakrit participants. And after the sessions, I received many emails appreciating the teaching by Dr. Mehta. Then we decided that we are going to offer an independent, a separate program on Brahmi script. I discussed it with my chairman, Dr. Firodia ji, and my president, Dr. Sugan ji, and very kindly they agreed and they gave their consent to offer this program. So I thank them for their kind consent. So I wish our participants fruitful academic 15-day fruitful academic journey with us. Good luck. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mukesh ji.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey, for welcoming our participants and distinguished guests and introducing International School for Jain Studies. Before moving further, there is a request to all our participants. This is an inaugural session, so please try to keep your cameras on if possible. Thank you. So now, fortunately, we have our chairman, Dr. Abhay Navalmal Firodia, with us for inaugural address. So I would like to invite him to his inaugural speech. Dr. Firodia, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure for me to interact with this very impressive group of participants who have shown interest in this program on the Brahmi script. At the outset, let me clarify that I am neither an expert on Brahmi as a script, nor do I claim to have knowledge of the Ardha Magadhi languages in any structured manner that were primarily used with Brahmi when it was popularized a long time ago. The ISJS is doing, I think, a very commendable effort in bringing to the attention of scholars and teachers in the world about the ancient tradition of scriptures, of scripts, of languages, of philosophy in the Shraman tradition, particularly Jainism. And I heartily support this effort. Let me share with you my thoughts and my views, which are not necessarily very conventional. I often find myself in disagreement with many scholars of our tradition. But there are certain things which one has to take for granted. For instance, the very name Brahmi, arising from the fact that Brahmi is recognized, it mentioned over millennia as the daughter of Bhagwan Rishabhdev, one has to accept that it is the period of Bhagwan Rishabhdev and after that this particular script gained importance and was developed. The point about this is very important, and that is that all Indic scripts today and some Southeast Asian scripts claim that they are descended from Brahmi. Therefore, this is a seminal position in the evolution of scripts in India. And there are many things about scripts which are very, very important. You have the Roman script, you have the Arabic script, you have so many scripts. You have the Japanese script, you have the Chinese script. The importance of Brahmi is that it created the basis in India for the phonetic script that Devanagari is. And a phonetic script is a very advanced development. It is far more advanced than scripts which are dependent on characters or signs. For instance, the Egyptian script and the Brahmi script, fundamentally the difference has been that Egyptian script or several other scripts were not phonetic. And this laid the foundation for the evolution not only of Devanagari, which is again a seminal position in the evolution of scripts in India, and leading from that to adapt to various regional requirements or practices. Now, one of the things that I strongly believe is that script usage was extraordinarily limited at the time the script was formed. The instruments for translating the script into any communicable material were very, very rare. It was not possible to write a letter in Brahmi from A to B. Not only was paper not available, there was no way of sending it anywhere. So script, initially the Brahmi script which has survived today, and surprisingly it gives a lot of clues to the society of that time, is inscriptions at many places in Brahmi. And I look at Brahmi as fundamental to the formation of India's culture. Two formative instruments have been Brahmi script and the group of Prakrit languages, and they go together. They co-evolved. Brahmi, if you consider, is post Rishabdev, then it is from the Indus Valley or thereafter, which is nearly 6,000 years before today, or say 5,000 years before today, we can't be exact. What is the oldest scriptures that we find in India, oldest caves that we find in India with this inscription? I am of the view that many of these are lying undiscovered. I came to this view because behind me you will see a picture of a museum that has been built near Pune. It's a very large museum. It is only 35 kilometers from Pune. But in the vicinity, 5 kilometers from this location, is a cave which is 2200 years old, 200 BC. It's a small cave, a 15 by 15 foot by 15 foot space. In that is inscribed on the wall in the Brahmi script the words Namo Arhantanam. And it goes on to say in Brahmi script who created that cave. And it is said Indrakita did that, which means somebody by the name of Indra, Indrakriti, or whatever you want to translate that into. So the two indicators here are that the writing which can be read in Prakrit language and the writing which is in Brahmi were coeval. I am often surprised by claims that the primal language of India was Sanskrit. My view is that the very words give away the sequence of evolution. The word Prakrit means it evolved from Prakriti, which means natural spoken languages. And Prakrit is not one language, it's a whole group of languages. Different areas had different Prakrits. And Sanskrit, by its very name, means the language which has been refined. The word Sanskrit itself means that which has been refined. A person who is Sanskrit is a person who has received good improvement, instruction, development. So Prakrit is succeeded by Sanskrit and not the other way around. There is a reason to believe that the Devanagari script descended from the Prakrit script only around 2000 years ago. And if it is so, and if Sanskrit primordially is written in Devanagari, then it goes to strengthen this claim that Prakrit, the script, gave rise to Devanagari, the script, and Brahmi, the script, gave rise to Devanagari, the script, and Prakrit, the language, gave rise to Sanskrit, the language. This is the tradition which I believe should be understood from the chronology of the development of the script and of the languages. And I think this is important to understand and not merely to accept what somebody has written about what is the genealogy and the timeline of this language. Why is Prakrit or Brahmi important? I say Prakrit or Brahmi because at the time that Prakrit existed, Devanagari had not come into existence. So these two are together, and Brahmi is the mother of all Indian scripts. This you all know because you are the scholars in this area. But it is therefore foundationally important to understand this from the point of view of the evolution of the Shraman and the Vedic traditions in India. I believe that the study of Prakrit by itself is unproductive. But the study of Brahmi also by itself is unproductive. What is important is the evolution of the communication in a particular script and a particular language. So the script is readable by anybody. The language may be different. You can write in Brahmi something which is a Marathi word or a Tamil word or an English word. And you can speak a particular word of a particular language and write it in any phonetic script. So this is a very seminal development in the evolution of Indian civilization when the first phonetic script was created, which evolved into a universal phonetic script like Devanagari and then into many other phonetic scripts in different regions. The entire communication of our cultural values has been possible because of these scripts. The languages that have been preserved in India and have been spoken over centuries are not propagated through the written word for a long time. Because writing instruments, writing methodology, communicating something which is written very easily on something like a piece of paper was impossible in the old days. Therefore, the importance of this script is that it was carved out on stone and has survived. And the importance of the language that was associated with it is that it has survived first through the carvings and later it was from a oral tradition converted to a written tradition. So this transition has been seminal in preserving our original philosophical thoughts. One aspect which I believe is very important to be understood, noted, is that our philosophical thought in India, particularly the value system of India, has been preserved, has been evolved, has been developed very strongly in the Shraman tradition, much more so than in the Vedic tradition. I strongly believe that till about 1,000 years ago, the majority of the territory of India, whether it was in the north or the south, was Shraman in terms of its beliefs and value system. It is only post Shankaracharya that the transformation happened, and it is only post the Islamic invasions that our old civilizational aspects were destroyed. The Islamists could destroy things in the heartland of India only from the year 1200 onwards. From 700 to 1200, they could not even enter Delhi. So the culture of India was preserved not only through Brahmi initially, but through Devanagari, which is the daughter of Brahmi, and certainly through the Prakrit languages. It is the destruction of the Buddhist tradition in India at the time of the Mughal invasions that completely uprooted the institutionalized value system of India, and a new composite value system evolved, which we live in today. And that has subsequently further been modified, damaged by the Islamic invaders, and later the colonials, and lastly by the leftist historians. So we don't see our ancient thinking represented as well as it should have been today, but it is a study of Brahmi and a study of Prakrit, which are, in my opinion, parallel values to study. Is important to understand what the ancient Indian philosophical tradition was. I would like to conclude by saying that, in my opinion, these languages were developed, evolved, not just to record events, but to ensure that the value system was transmitted. And why do I say that? If you accept that Rishabdev and his daughter Brahmi are the progenitors of the Brahmi script, then you have to accept all the values that Rishabdev propounded, among which was even trade and various skills and arms. So that is a part of our value system. Not just ahimsa, not just aparigraha. We have a whole value system which has to do with good living for the individual and the pursuit of spirituality for the renunciate. Both are encompassed in the shaman value system. Whether you are closer to Buddhism or closer to Jainism is a different matter. The Buddha found the middle path not between Vedic tradition and the Jain tradition. This is a misconception. The Vedic tradition was not prominent at that time. He found the middle path between the Ajivika tradition and the Parshvanath tradition. And that is Buddhism. But the value system of any of these, and even later of the Vedic system, is identical. Now, if you accept this, that the country was very heavily, broadly, emphatically preserving the Shraman culture, then Brahmi, which originated from the originator of the Shraman culture, becomes very important. And it's having given birth to Devanagari, and later having given birth to regional languages, which really have preserved our culture. There is a lot of sort of claim that our culture and our spirit is preserved through Sanskrit. I beg to differ, because the value system of India was always communicated in the local language. It is the Prakrits, which were the local language of India till a few hundred years ago. Even today, for instance, the Maharashtra language, the Marathi language, is nothing but a variation or a variant of the Ardha Magadhi and the Jain Ardha Magadhi at that. So the regional languages were the preservers and the communicators of our value system. This value system was originally formatted in the Brahmi script, later on carried on through Devanagari and the regional scripts, and was preserved originally in Prakrit, redacted in Brahmi on stone, and later on through Prakrit, which was orally handed over from generation to generation. So there is no immediate use you can put knowledge of Brahmi to, but there is certainly a great deal of importance of Brahmi. It is a seminal moment, as important as the creation of the printing press, or as important as creating the digital communication, that the formation of Brahmi was. If there was no proper formation of Brahmi, today's communication would not be any greater than what the aborigines on the Nicobar Island, which still live in the Stone Age, are able to do. The entire progress of Indian civilization was possible because of Brahmi, and Brahmi gave rise to the Devanagari and so on and so forth. It's like the finding of the transistor. The wall gave rise to the transistor, which gave rise to the printed circuit, which has given rise to the very, very elaborate chips that we have today. Could this improvement or progress been possible without the original wall? And similarly, Brahmi script has that seminal role, which has enabled our civilizational values to be preserved, first in its own form and later in different languages and different forms which have descended from it. So I want to congratulate all of you for taking the time and the effort to participate in this. You will, I'm sure, interact with the people who are conducting, the scholars who are conducting this program, and you will find much interest in what they are saying. My point of view is that this has to be looked at in perspective. And the perspective I have is that Brahmi is a script that came from Rishabdev. Rishabdev was the founder of our value system, and Brahmi enabled that value system to be carried forward for 1,000 years till a new language, a new script evolved, which enabled greater carrying forward. And today, because Devanagari or English or Roman script is not written on stone, it is written, not even written on paper, it is written on the computer in software, it is sitting on the cloud. This progress began with the seed of Brahmi. Brahmi is fundamental to our culture. Brahmi is fundamental to your belief that the value system of the Jains, which was first defined by Rishabdev, could be done so and handed over to the next generation through Brahmi. So if we believe in these principles and values of India, we have to regard Brahmi as something which is very, very classical. One last word. Most people don't accept two things. One, what has trade to do with the development and the communication of languages or of knowledge? Excuse me. I want to emphasize that it is the trade routes of India and the international trade routes, whether you go to China on the Silk Route or whether you travel through India, it is on the trade routes that you find the ancient literature. For instance, this cave that I mentioned to you near the museum you see behind me is bang on the trade route from the ports of Maharashtra to Paitan, which used to be an ancient, very, very important town. So trade had a lot to do with propagation of script. It had a lot to do with propagation of language. And with it, it had a lot to do with propagation of the value system. So this is one aspect. And the second aspect, which to my mind is also very important, is that one must look not at what the colonial historians have written or what is the point about the age of a particular script or language. One has to look at the sequence. And you would see from this how important Brahmi has been in our tradition, in our evolution. I want to congratulate you for participating in this. I want to thank you for listening to my rather non-conventional views with patience. I don't see any people signing off from the screen. So maybe I have not informed you, but hopefully I have at least entertained you a little bit. So thank you very much. I appreciate being here. It's my pleasure and privilege. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your nice inaugural address and insightful information you have provided to us and our participants. Thank you again for being with us and blessing us with your kind words. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
dear participants, this is now time to introduce you all with the teaching methodology we are going to follow. So, at the very starting of the program, uh, Dr. Pandey have briefly introduced you about the teaching method. This is how we are going to learn Brahmi. So, in this all session and during all classes, there will be two PPT lectures, and rest of the session will be reading and writing practices. So, in first lecture, you will be aware about introduction, origin and development of Brahmi script. Then, from second day of our learning, we will learn about Sanskrit, Pali, Prakrit, alphabets, and their equivalent Brahmi symbols. And then after, we will learn adding vowels to Brahmi consonants. And these sessions will be on revision, learning, and practice basis. So, one by one, we will learn how to add vowel signs to consonant. Then we will practice to transliterate some words, easier words you can say, that we have learned earlier to adding vowels on that, and this process will be continued. We will learn one by one day adding vowels, then we will do practice, revision, learning, and practice. And after we uh, then we finish learning adding vowels to consonant, we will learn about conjuncts and numerals of Brahmi script. And then after, in second PPT lecture, we will know about some specifications, peculiarities, and variations of Brahmi script. Then we will try to do some transliteration of Prakrit passages, verses from Brahmi to Roman and vice versa. Then after we will try to decipher inscriptions by Emperor Asoka and King Kharvel written in Brahmi and Prakrit language. And at the end of the course, there will be a test or examination, and this was how we are going to learn Brahmi. And after class, you will be provided daily practice set, that will be homeworks, learning materials, and still if you have any queries, then you can email us and we will try to answer your queries. So thank you. This will be our teaching method. So once again, I am stopping my PPT. So in the next section, I would like to invite our director, Dr. Sugan Chand Jain, to deliver thank note. Dr. Sugan Jain, over to you, sir.
Our President Mukesh ji.
Okay.
Yes, our president.
Okay, Sakal. Thank you, Dr. Mehta. And I am really impressed with today's program and the effort that went into preparing for today. My thanks start with Pagyajan. It's always a pleasure to listen to the Mangalacharan recitation by her. Then Dr. Pandey, as usual, is very, very meticulous in beautifully presenting ISDS activities. Dr. Pandey, thank you very much. Keep it up. Dr. Firodia, I'm very, very thankful to you for such a detailed talk on Brahmi script. Right from the time of Lord Rishabdev and downwards, and how it was adopted through various philosophical traditions, both under Shaman tradition and the non-Shaman tradition. And also, I was really amazed to hear how the script, carries the value system. I have spent some time studying the values carried in the scripts, but today it was amazing, and it reconfirmed that really the script does carry the value system. It is indeed surprising that we talk of Brahmi coming from Rishabdev downwards, and then there's no writing system, no written literature in India until Alexander came to India. And then we see the Ashoka scripts, Ashoka pillars, and then the Kharwell thing, and they're all in a Brahmi script. So one wonders in which script were Vedas or others written by that time. Anyway, that's a question I'm not competent to answer, but these are the type of queries that come to your mind. And Dr. Mehta, I saw your program schedule. It's really very detailed. I would request that the second activity, you have the alphabets. If you can spend more time on it so that people become more familiar with formation of, the alphabet, Devanagari alphabets into this thing, Brahmi, because then the joining becomes easier. And you have shown, how the vowel and A, O, U, get the consonants. Overall, it looks very impressive. And I'm amazed at your effort and skills. How at such a young age, and with so many things going on, Prakrit and other things, you could find time to become a pioneer in this effort. I'm sure it will go a long way in making Brahmi a very interesting subject globally. and give ISJS a new avenue of activities. In the end, I thank all the participants today who have registered for the program. And I request you to please be regular and do your homework so that Dr. Mehta is motivated to further improve this program. And I think he will be very enthusiastic to respond to your email queries. So thank you all, and I wish the best to Dr. Mehta and to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you. So, see you tomorrow.
Mukesh ji, just a minute.
Yes.
So, though Suganji has casted vote of thanks to everybody, I would like to thank. We have Dr. Jaswant Modi ji with us from USA, who is the sponsor of our many programs and chairs dedicated to Jain philosophy, culture, and history. So I thank Dr. Modi for his time. We have our advisor, Narendra Parsan ji, Dr. Narendra Parsan from US. Sir, I thank you. I thank you all. We have Dr. Srikant Garvi, coordinator of Bhagwan Sitalnath Chair for Jain Archaeology at Deccan College and Postgraduate Research Institute. I thank you all. One thing which I would like to mention here, that I request you all to please share your suggestions with us. In help book, you will find my email snpande@ihgs.in. So your suggestions are most welcome. As I mentioned, that this is the first time we are offering this program, and we are wholeheartedly dedicated for the further improvement. So I believe that there is always a chance of improvement in any program. So I request you all. I know many of you are scholars of Brahmi and other scripts. So if you have any suggestions or any kind of request for any special talk, so please feel free to share with me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all participants, for attending today's inaugural session. All the best. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.